What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Big Man on Campus podcast. I'm your host, Jeff. They call me the Big Man on Campus. Here with you live on a Wednesday, January 24th, 2018. Looking forward to a Wednesday card here full of good games and hopefully some profit as well. Really looking forward to getting after a couple winners tonight. Actually, one winner tonight. Hopefully, we could help out with some leans as well. Leans have been pretty good. I'm not one to really look. Leans are leans. There's a reason we don't bet them, and I'm not going to take credit when they win. I know people give me credit for them, but I don't need it. I'm just here to help try to give them and give you some confidence when I take them. Some of them I put small plays on. For instance, with the bet cast tonight, I might have a play on that game, but we'll get into all of it here. A lot to do, and hopefully, like I said, find a winner. Want to welcome everyone out there who's listening in. Appreciate all of you. Andrew, Scott, Blue Bayou, James Ross, who else? Armin, Two Chains, Rashawn Wong, Matt Anderson, Matt Varnum, Mike. I'm sorry, not Mike. Mark Roberry, Josh Marcheson, Joel McDonald, Kyle L, G Coop, Mr. Coates, Big Yergs, Guan White, Styles, everyone out there listening, Mr. Gogster, Rich H, Ant Greer, King Rail, Conrado, David Stewart, Chris Carter, Patrick R, Brendan Clay, Fernando, Brock Matava, Russell, Kevin White, Kentucky Derek, Blue Chirp Gaming, Colton, Steven, Ryan, Chadwick, Luke, Ole Miss, Brian, Space Monkey Z, Anton Gardenier, what's up? From the Bahamas, Adam Bayer, Aaron Sate, fuck off, fuck the Patriots, Palani Pham, Dennis, Marlon, Heath, James, everybody in here, welcome in. A lot of people tuning in. Hit the like button for me. Very important to the show. Allows it to grow, get into the hands of people that might not see it. Let's get into what happened last night here on the show. Actually, we didn't have a show last night. In general, last night. We get the job done with the under in the Missouri State Bradley game. Nice way to bounce back after our play that didn't get in on Monday. So even it up on the week, 1-1, 79-47 on the season, 63% up 27.10 units, shooting for 30 units by the end of the week here, which is definitely in sight. So we just need to kind of keep it going, get on a little win streak here. Great one on Arsenal. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, man. It was a good winner. We'll take it. It's a win's a win, man. I don't care about sweats. I'll tell you what, I didn't even watch that game. I was on the phone with a chick, and I hadn't looked at it. I looked at it. I see 72-52. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't care what happened. It's a winner nonetheless. They don't pay me if it wins by 1 or 30. So we'll take it. So, yeah, let's jump into the show tonight. A lot of games. Feel free to keep in mind, I'll try to get to every game here, so you don't have to ask about a specific one. Let's get into it. First game for me, it's going to be my play of the day. I'm going to go to game number. Bear with me here, guys. Let me get my odds up. Hey, by the way, also, I know I mentioned we'll take calls here. I'm going to start that tomorrow. Wasn't able to get my thing up and running today, so we'll get that going tomorrow with some calls. Obviously, we really need to make sure it's done the right way, just because if I just throw a phone number out there, I guess I could do that. I could always block, a number if it's irritating. But, I'm trying to hopefully we can get calls and it's not, a shit show, which a lot of the time when you take calls, it can be just because, people are always trying to be funny and things like that. But we'll give it a try. Let's take a look at our game tonight. We'll go to game number 769, 770. I'm going to go with Wofford tonight, minus 8.5. You can get that currently at Bookmaker. Just bet. I'm going to go with this Wofford club tonight on the road at VMI. I think this number is too low. I don't really know that I understand it, and I know it's a road team. I know it's a road team laying a big number, but it's not a huge number. It's only 8.5. And the big thing for me with Wofford here is, their ability to score the basketball. They've done a great job all year, scoring the ball. whether it's on the road, whether it's at home. And you look at really their dominance over the last year or so of this VMI team. Uh, they've won and covered 4 in a row against this group. And you look at the wins that they've had against VMI. You look at earlier this year, 93-52. Last year, 81-63, 88-70, 92-60. I mean, they're just murdering this VMI team. And I got to tell you, I think this VMI team is a little bit better last year. They had a guy named Julian Ellaby, who was one of those guys that could at least keep you in the game. This Wofford group has a guy in Fletcher McGee who's, to me, one of the better scorers in the country. He creates his own shot. He's almost 50% from 3 this year, and you saw that on audition against North Carolina. He was absolutely fantastic. And this group as a team has really been rolling in conference. Really look like one of the better teams down in the SoCo. 85 points a game, 51% for the field. And defensively, they've improved a little bit. I like what I've seen from this group, and I'm not sure they're going to get much pushback from VMI tonight. This team is not good offensive VMI. They're really struggling, only shooting at 37% in conference, have had major issues on the defensive end. I just think there's a case of, I don't think VMI can keep up in this game. You look at VMI also, I find interesting in conference against the quote-unquote higher-end teams in this conference, your Woffords, your Furmans, your teams like that, they've really struggled this year. When they step up a competition in conference, I mean, they're getting their doors blown off. I mean, you look at against Furman, they lose 87-57, lose to Wofford 92-53, get crushed by Eastern Tennessee State 89-49. They just haven't really been competitive at all in a game like this. And I think the number's high. It's not a great situation. I hate laying double digits on the road, basically, but I just don't see a particular reason that VMI stays in this basketball game. So, yeah, I'm going to rock with it. And, another thing I like about Wofford is when you have to cover a game like this on the road, it's important that you can make foul shots. That's going to allow you to kind of get a lead in a game, keep the lead. They're 78% from the line. That's one of the better teams in the country. And Wofford guys, keep this note, they're second in the country in 3-point percentage as a team at 44%. So I just think this is a case of I don't think VMI can keep up here. I don't think their home court advantage is anything to write home about. For me, it's going to all be on the Wofford Terriers tonight. I can get 8.5 still at Bookmaker, and that's where I'm going to go. I think 8.5 is a good number. You might have to lay 115 on that, but I think it's fine. I'll go Wofford minus 8.5 at minus 115. Again, at 5:08 p.m. I can get that at Bookmaker. So we'll rock with that. Let's check it on the chat. Matt Varnum will throw out the play of the day here on the chat if you miss it. So no need to ask about what the play of the day is. I will, again, get on it late. I don't know if Donnie Wrights is going to join us today. He usually joins us on Wednesday later in the show. I'll have to see if he's going to be on here or not. What's up, Carlos Escalante? Welcome in. Nice call on Arsenal. Thanks, Byron. Brian says, let's get this money. Amen. Lawrence Sturcio, dude, get over yourself. The Giants stink. Marco Morales, what's up? Adam, what's up, man? My biggest question today is Irvine. I'll get to it. Dan F., what's up, man? Thanks. Tiger Bob, what's happening? What else we got going on here? How about the Chelsea game? How about it? Arsenal won. That's all I care about. Mr. Gogster, we'll get to that game. I have that one to talk about here. What's up, Steven? Appreciate that, man. No problem. What's up, Jeff Slaughter? Nick T. I think they may be the team to not make Champions League. Chelsea, yeah, I can see it. They've gotten nothing out of Murata this year. Willian went out with an injury today. That sucks. I mean, when you have Ross Barkley on your team and he has to make something happen, it's probably not going to be a good outcome. Yeah, Wenger needs to go. That is nothing. Wenger stinks. I don't care that they won today. Wenger needs to go. He should have won a long time ago. What's up, Chris CC Fitness? What's up? How you doing, buddy? Your show has improved a lot from the beginning of the year. Love the motivation, and you continue to produce better content. Well, thanks, man. again, this isn't the first time I've done the show, but yeah, it's improved. I mean, we've gotten a lot more subscribers, and people enjoy the show, and I think they enjoy the candidness. So we're not going to pat ourselves on the back. We're just going to keep firing away. I think I've maybe helped people gambling in general. I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but a lot of the things that I say come true. I mean, I'm trying to make people better sports bettors when it comes to college hoops, what to look for. Um, just keep it close. We don't need to tell everybody. Everybody doesn't need to know our secrets. We don't going to start getting mushed, but only you can make the bets you make. I know a lot of people still will bet the way they want, but there is a key to being able to beat college basketball. And if you can look the right ways and you have the cojones to make the bets, you'll do very well. Wofford beat VMI by 40. Yep, we talked about that. Let's get into the rest of the card here. Let me. I do want to get in touch with Donnie Wrightson here and see if he's coming on. I just want to make sure that way I'm not waiting around for him. I could have sworn he said he wasn't, but if you're interested, keep in mind tonight we will be on with the BetCast at 7 o'clock on SBR, South Carolina and Florida. We'll go through that game. We'll go through really every game. I mean, we're not going to just stay on one game the whole night, but we'll wrap it out. Keep in mind, questions off the record we'll get to a little bit later. Let's get into some of the things. We'll go down the card here, see if there's any other stuff we're looking at. If I don't have an opinion, I'm just going to skip it. Marquette Xavier at 6:30. Listen, I think whenever you're dealing with a Big East game like these two teams, I think over is always worth a look. Both these teams are pretty quick pace-wise. Both these teams are very good offensively. If these teams can knock down their threes tonight, I think the game will go over. Marquette's been a very good over team all year. Xavier should have an easy night of it on the boards. They should be able to get a lot of second-chance opportunities. And look, not for nothing, I haven't been overly impressed with Xavier in conference on the defensive end. So, you have a total here very high. Both these teams, though, this really is one of those perfect storms you look for. It's just this 163.5 too high. Gun to my head, I would take the over still. Boston College, Syracuse. I don't know how Boston College is going to score in this game. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble here. They're not a good jump shooting team. They don't make threes. They're not one of those teams. They're a team that want to get to the cup, penetrate, that kind of thing. And the zone doesn't allow that. You have to be able to shoot over a zone. And as we know, Boeheim's zone is among the best. I think they're going to struggle tonight a little bit offensively, this Boston College team. You also have to point out Jerome Robinson, one of their better players. He may not play in this game. I heard last time that I thought he was probable, but you never know with some of these injuries. Deontay Hawkins has been out for a period of time as well, and you're on the road up at the Carrier Dome. The problem you have with Syracuse is, do you ever trust them fully offensively? This team always struggles from the field. They're a good under team. And I think that could be a way to look in this game at 133, maybe going under the total in BCQs. Rhode Island, Fordham. Look, Rhode Island's a good basketball team. I think they do a nice job overall. They're 8-3 as a favorite, but they haven't really laid a number like this yet this year. They did do it once, and I believe it was the Fordham. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't against Fordham. I don't know who it was against, but they were able to get a cover. But they're not really put out as a favorite of this magnitude very much. But Fordham is not a team you look to back. They're one of the worst offenses in the country. Rhode Island has really been filling it up lately, and they're really starting to play that defense. It looks like they're probably the team to beat in this conference. The only concern I have is, can Fordham hang around at the foul line? And it's possible. Rhode Island fouls a lot, 21 fouls a game. That's a bit of a concern here. If you get a ref in this game that is foul happy, Fordham can get some calls at home and they'll be hanging this game. That's your concern here, and that's the reason I wouldn't be laying a number like this. You add into the fact that Rhode Island doesn't lay a number like this on a regular basis. They have struggled a bit defensively on the road. The concern, like I said, can Fordham hang around in this game from the foul line? You've seen that. We've seen that before. St. Louis did this exact thing against Fordham or against Rhode Island a couple weeks ago. A game we got a miracle cover in, but it wasn't easy. That's your concern here if you like Rhode Island. Not a pick that I'd be co-signing or looking into. I'll get to all the comments. I'm just kind of in a zone right now. I'm going to try to bang out as many as I can, just kind of going through here. Richmond, Duquesne. I'm sorry, St. Joe's, St. Bonaventure. I don't have a ton on this game. I think St. Joe's is better than people think. I think they've had Martelli a lot of trouble injury wise. I mean, Lamar Kimball gets injured. Lamar Kimball was injured last year. Newkirk was injured. Charlie Brown hasn't played yet this season. You got to feel bad for Phil Martelli and crew. I think they have a decent team. I think Tyler Funk is a hell of a shooter. I like Shavar Newkirk a lot. The truth of the matter is, though, they just haven't been very good away from home, away from Hagen Arena. They're 2-8 straight up, 3-7 to the number. And mainly the big issue has been defensively. It's not going to get any easier tonight because St. Bonaventure has two of the best guards in the country as a duo. Mobley and Adams are really good. Here's your issue, though, with St. Bonaventure. A, can they defend enough? Because, the truth of the matter is that they haven't done great defending. They haven't covered in 4 or 5. And they're another team that fouls a lot. 21 a game. This St. Joe's team, Phil Martelli's a smart coach. He's a guy that is aware of things like this. He's aware of, little things that the other team does do. But 7.5, it's not a huge number. It's a pass for me. Duquesne, Richmond. This is the game of the day. I've seen the whole world on fucking Duquesne here. And listen, first of all, I got to like how some of these people all of a sudden know a shit ton about every mid-major in America. And make sure you are well aware of who really does this and who doesn't do this. These guys that just throw out picks and don't offer any sort of fucking breakdown on why they like it. They're just throwing darts. If you're a real sports bettor, the writing's on the wall tonight with Duquesne. It's just the truth. Is Duquesne the right side on paper? Sure they are. No one will disagree with you there. The problem is the whole world's on Duquesne and the line has went down. Listen, I like Keith Dambrot. I like Duquesne. I think they're an up-and-coming team that's had a solid year. But I saw a very similar game like this the other day with Richmond playing against VCU. They were able to get the job done. On paper, Richmond's an ugly team. But Chris Mooney's a good coach. They don't turn the ball over. Why is this line went down? The writing's on the wall here. And the one thing that you have to respect about Duquesne, they've won and covered 8 of 10 in Pittsburgh. Now, I will say this. I don't put a lot of stock into that just because the Duquesne teams of old were bad. I mean, Duquesne's not been a good program for a long time. It's just been recently where they've kind of gotten going. All I'm saying is don't be surprised to see this. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So, no, I would not be on this. I don't jump on the chat every day, but Jeff knows I'm a daily listener. Just want to show my appreciation, Jeff, a true stand-up guy. Thank you, Ash. And I want to show my appreciation to you, Ash Musu. You've listened to me for a long time. I would say Ash Musu, other than probably Best Gambler, they've listened to me when I was back on Spreaker, when I had a show at 5 with Ryan. Ash used to call into my show quite frequently. A great guy, a good dude, a guy I enjoy talking basketball with. Out of Baltimore, good dude. And I thank him for making the trip over here and SBR and all the places. A long-time listener that I respect a ton. Let's get back to the stuff here. So, yeah, I mean, take your shot with Duquesne. If you like it, you like it. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. South Carolina and Florida. I'll break down this one a little bit later. This won't be the betcast that we'll get involved with tonight. Georgia Tech, Florida State. Not a huge opinion here. I think Georgia Tech's a little bit better than people think. They have a great defense. They slow down tempo. Ben Lammers is a good player. Okogie, Todrick Jackson. And I think they're pretty well coached. Passers had a little bit of an off-court issue, but for the most part, they're a decent team. Could they maybe throw a wrench in, try to slow this one down? Maybe. UMass LaSalle, no real opinion. LaSalle laying kind of a big number here. This will be a great game scoring-wise. And here's what I'll say about this game, and I find it interesting. You have in this game two of the better pure scorers, I think, in the country. I think Pipkins and Pookie Powell for UMass and LaSalle are fantastic scorers. This could be a real duel back and forth. This total might be a little too low. I could see this one maybe overtime, a close game, overtime. Um, but UMass, I got them wrong on Saturday. A no-showed against St. Louis. Now you got to go on the road. I got a kind of a feeling this game gets over 139. I could see 70s for this game. Might be a little too low in UMass and LaSalle. So keep that in the back of your head. Nebraska, Rutgers. This is another one. I mean, Nebraska heading on the road into Jersey to take on Steve Pikiell's crew. Nebraska's done pretty well on the road this year. 5-2 to the number, 8-3 as a dog. Two teams that struggle to score. But I don't have much. I'm not a huge Big Ten guy, especially the lower rung Big Ten. Louisville, Miami. We talked about this one today on the roundtable. The big concern I have with Miami is I like them in general. They're a favorite of mine. Really like this Miami crew. But they don't make foul shots. And at -4, they're going to have to make foul shots. It's hard for me to get involved here. So for me, I'm going to pass. BMOC, any thoughts on Rutgers? Yep, we're talking about it now. How about your team getting 14 again? Yes, I'll get to it. I mean, do people not listen? I'll get to every game, guys. No need. Thoughts on USC covering against Stanford? I'll get to it. Why do you have a subscription to Steve Stevens' channel? I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I do enjoy his podcast. I think his podcasts are entertaining, actually. I don't not like him. I think he's a bit of a fraud, but I think his stuff's entertaining. I don't have a problem with the guy. I don't understand how he's who he is, but hey, I got to respect him for being who he is and doing the things he does and getting paid to do it. Hey, I'm not knocking his style. I wouldn't do it, and to me, it's kind of fraudulent, but hey, got to do what you got to do, right? Someone give me a 10-unit lock of the day. It's not going to happen on here, so get out of here. Let's keep it going here. We'll keep moving on because obviously people ask about every single game and they don't listen. Drake, Loyola, Chicago. I think money is going to come in on Drake here. I think you're seeing that line went down a little bit. Loyola's now a 2.5-point favorite. Really kind of a clash in styles. Drake's a little bit quicker. They're the one team kind of in the Missouri Valley that wants to go quick, score, fast, good offensively. I've really been impressed with Drake's defense, particularly at home. I think this will be quite a battle. I give the edge to Drake here. I like their offense. I think they're better on the offensive end than Loyola Chicago. But I think these are two teams that I think long-term, I think one of these two teams is going to win this conference. I really like what Porter Moser's done with the Ramblers. I love what Medved's did at Drake. Two teams that I'm a real big fan of. And Drake's undefeated at home, so I think they're going to want to kind of take advantage of a spot like this. Drake's a team that for many years has kind of been in the gutter. You're starting to see in the Missouri Valley, everyone is playable. Missouri Valley, you got Drake, you got Bradley's played a lot better. So yet these teams that maybe for many years have struggled, now you see that they're legitimate and they have a shot here. What's up, Reggie? Good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Big man, did you catch the end of the UNLV game? Yeah, we talked about that game. It was a tough beat, man. I mean, if you had UNLV last night, my condolences. That was a tough game for sure. And also, guys, if you're out there and you're getting a Wofford at 9, I'm good with that. 9's fine. Just keep that in mind. Want to make that clear. I don't want people to think I'm, giving out a line that doesn't exist. At Bookmaker right now, I could still get 8.5. So it's going where you get the best number. So yeah, we'll work with that. Let's keep it going here. Illinois State and Southern Illinois. This is a game that I wouldn't get involved with. Malik Yarborough may or may not play in this game. Malik Yarborough is Illinois State's best player. He's their best scorer. And against Northern Iowa, you're going to need him in the lineup. But do I trust Northern Iowa laying this kind of number? No. I haven't been overly impressed with this group. But defensively, they're always very good. They slow pace. Illinois State is also one of those teams that wants to go kind of quicker. And without Malik Yarber, I can't get involved with it. Evansville, Valpo would consider the under here. Valpo is a team that I don't think is very good at all. But without Joe Burton, I don't love them on the defensive end. Evansville, I like Marty Simmons. I like this team. They've done some good things for me this year. I'd almost kind of lean Evansville. If I could get a 4 there, I would like Evansville a lot more. DePaul, Georgetown, no opinion. Indiana, Illinois. Illinois is a team that, I mean, how do you really back them? I mean, they haven't won in conference this year. I think defensively they have major problems. And I actually like when Juwan Morgan plays, I think Indiana is a worthy bet. And they've covered 4 or 5. They're playing some good basketball right now. I'm not really sure why Illinois is a favorite. I mean, how are they a favorite? They haven't won in conference this year. I mean, I think Indiana is kind of undervalued here. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think this is just a bad line. Drake plays 0 defense. That's incorrect, actually. Drake plays actually very good defense in conference, and they've improved significantly on that end. We need to stop looking at what they did in out of conference. I mean, I guess I'm not really sure on how Drake plays no defense. At home, they're giving up 62.5 points a game. What on earth are you looking at, Russell? Are we talking about the same team? Are you talking about Drake High School or something? Because I'm not sure I agree with that. So maybe you can imply what you mean by that, because I'm not sure I see it. Big man, you're always a winner. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think I am too. So yeah, Russell, I'd like to hear your opinion on that. Kevin O'Brien, first-time listener. Hey, welcome in, Kevin. Appreciate you checking us out. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. We do this every day, basically. Big man, any chances you upload a video on futures? Good call, Jake. No, I'll do it tonight, actually. Good. Thank you for that. I'll do it tonight. I'll do a 10-minute video for you. Would you have been on Kansas or Oklahoma, big man? I went Kansas and got burned. I will tell you, I would have taken Kansas in that game. I didn't do it, but gun to my head, I think they were the right side. Big hello from Brooklyn. Kid Bay, what's up, pal? Another long-time listener. Good to see you. What do you think about Nova in the NCAA tournament? I think Nova is I think they're huge. I think they're the best team in the country, personally. So, yeah, I'm very high on Nova, surely. Let's get back to the games here. Indiana State, Southern Illinois. 2 teams that are kind of, to me, very similar. Couldn't really split it here. Indiana State's done some good things on conference. Covered 6 of 7. These 2 teams are real similar. Lean Southern Illinois at home. Good team. Real solid in their home stadium. Great and well coached. Good defense. I think that's where this game's differentiated defensively. But not one of my favorites. So, yeah, Indiana, Illinois. I'd probably look towards the money line there on Indiana. Plus 130. Why not? Illinois can't win at home. And until they do so, I think it's hard to get involved with them. Air Force, Utah State. No real opinion here. Though Air Force has been pretty good against the number. So I guess that's for something. They've covered 5 in a row. They're 9-4 overall this season. And basically the goal for Air Force is to basically try to slow it down. They're pretty ugly on offense, and they're bad on the road. But 7 out of 7 in this series have gone over. So pass. Temple University on the road at Cincinnati. And, obviously I'm a Temple fan. I'll give you a candid opinion on this team as always. I've had some good luck betting against them as a big favorite. But now they're a big underdog, getting 13.5 here. And I think the quick thoughts would be to take Temple here. I don't see it. I think Cincinnati boat races Temple tonight. And that's my opinion. I'm not betting it. I'm not getting involved. But Temple's extremely inconsistent, and frankly, they've been horrible in the Atlantic or in the AAC this year. I mean, explain to me how this group scores tonight, because I don't see it. Cincinnati, guys, in conference, opponents are shooting 35% against them. That's extremely good. And this Temple team, I mean, their offense is going to hell in a handbasket. 62.5 points a game, only shooting 37%. Temple's goal tonight will be to slow this game down. The 320th in tempo. They're going to try to keep the ball for 25 seconds. The problem you have at Temple, first of all, tonight in this game is they have nothing in the front court. Nothing. Damian Moore, Ernest Aflakby, they're useless. They suck. They're not any good. And that's Fran's big problem. He's got good guard play, but the problem you have with the guard play right now is it's wonky. Anecchionia is good some days and bad the next. Quentin Rose sometimes doesn't even start because he's late to practice. Shiz Alston's been very good all year. He doesn't get to the line enough or keep the ball in his hands enough. Nate Pierre-Louis, when he does play, has been effective. J.P. Moorman doesn't belong on the court, and he's been on a lot. Lonnie Moore's terrible. They're just not very good, guys. And it sucks because I love Temple. I'm a huge fan of this group. But it's time for Dunphy to go. And you look at the first game. I think a lot of people will be blinded by that game. And good reasoning. I mean, they were pretty decent, Temple. They played good defensively, but they still found a way to lose. And as bad as Cincinnati was in that game, they still found a way to win the game. Cincinnati's an extremely good offensive team at home, 86 points a game. I just don't know that I see it in this game. I think Cincinnati wins like 81-62 or something. I think they run away in this one. So be that for what it's worth, but I don't think Temple has much chance in this game. And that's coming from a fan. So I'm always very real about Temple University. Would the Eagles like to borrow Eli Manning? No, we don't want him. He's a loser. Yeah, Russell, you still haven't explained how Drake's bad defensively. I haven't seen you comment on that. I'd like to hear it. Because, listen, Russell, if you say something I don't agree with, I'd like to hear your opinion on why. Maybe I'm missing something. Purdue's the best team in the country. I disagree. I think they're good. I don't think they're the best. They're top 10, though. Sixers, Eagles, Nova all win the championship. Settle down, Luke. Sixers aren't fucking winning the championship. Stop. How much is the most you've ever won on a future ticket? I don't know. I'd have to look. Cincinnati's going to fist the Owls. Can't disagree. Let's keep it moving here. NC State, Pittsburgh. No real opinion. Pittsburgh has really struggled to score, and you got to wonder how they're going to deal with this press tonight. Pittsburgh is a team that is just very hamstrung on the offensive end. They just don't score enough. They're only scoring 53.7 points a game in conference. That's awful. They don't belong in this conference. I know they're in this conference and they're going to play there, but this year, this team is terrible. I mean, this is, to me, the worst Power 5 team in the country. They're horrible. And any semblance that they did have is out for the season in Ryan Luther. I said before the season, I didn't think Pittsburgh would win like 10 games. I don't see it. I don't really see a legitimate reason they win another game this season. I mean, really, how are they going to win? You're in a really tough conference. You have really no home court advantage. Your best player's out. I mean, you look at the rest of their schedule. Is there a winnable game here? Because I don't see it. I think they're going to stay right at 8 and whatever. I guess it'd be 8-20 or 8-21. If I could make a bet on that right now, I would bet pretty heavily on that. Pittsburgh's horrible. They're the worst team in this conference. It's not even close. And to me, they're the worst team in Power 5, really. So, yes, I would lean NC State here. Auburn, Missouri. We talked about this game. I don't see much betting value in it. I think it'll be a great game to watch. Stanford, USC, another one I don't have much opinion on. I will say this: USC's really played well lately. They're really starting to, I think, play for DeAndre Melton. Stanford is kind of up and down, kind of inconsistent, kind of a 500 team. They'll be kind of a bubble team, if that. But they have covered. I mean, they're getting almost double digits here. I think this might be one of those games where I think a lot of people will take Stanford here, and this game will be teetered around the number the whole game because the Stanford Cardinal can't defend for shit. They're a shitty defensive team. USC could. I have a feeling we'll be up like 10 this whole game, and it'll come down to the wire. And I would bet that USC will win it late and cover. But Stanford's scrappy, man. They really are scrappy. But this looks like the line that they'll just get boat raced in. San Jose, Boise. I had a hard time seeing any reason Boise doesn't win this game by 25. San Jose is another very bad team. They haven't won in conference either, and they're getting outscored by a ton. They're horrible offensively also. They foul a lot. They turn the ball over. They're dreadful on the road. They failed to cover in 6 of 9 away from home. In certain spots, getting 15 against, an SDSU or something, maybe they're worth a look at home or something. But in a game like this, I think Boise's really good, and they've owned people at home. I mean, absolutely owned people. Question is, do you want to lay 20 points in a conference game? If you're going to do it, this is probably the spot. Cal, Riverside, and Irvine. Drew Martin liked the under in this game, made a good case for it. I would check out the SBR Roundtable for more on it. I didn't have much on it particularly. Irvine's a lot better than their record indicates. Colorado State, San Diego State. I mean, this is another one. I mean, you're laying a big number here. I don't think Colorado State's good at all, but Apprentice Nixon's out, who's one of their better players. But, SDSU is a different animal this year. They can score now. They're not that half-court shithead team that, scores 65 a game and wants to keep the game in the low 60s. They push tempo. They can score. They're scoring almost 80 a game at home. And defensively, they have been absolutely magnificent at home. Gun to my head, I'd lay the points. Nevada, Wyoming. Looks like a decent overplay. Obviously, it's going to come down to, does Cody Martin play? That's a big person to have in the lineup, and it's an Achilles injury. So, that's always kind of concerning. 7 of 9 have went over between these two teams. Wyoming is top 10 in the country in pace. They're very fast. Nevada, very efficient as well. I think this one gets to the 160 area. Both these teams very good from the foul line as well. So that will help. Got a couple more here. We will get into all of them here. I already talked NC State. Big man, my book won't even let me buy the hook for Wofford. Interesting. Big man looking like a whale. I'm not a whale. If I had more money, I'd be a whale. And Matt Holt wouldn't take my bets probably at CG. People laugh, but, I mean, would you take my bets? Just saying. By the way, I'm hoping to get out to Vegas in March. I'm going to be down in Costa Rica at some point. We got to set that up, but I'm working on something to get out there in March. Traveling's been a little bit of a problem for me, as many of you know. I wasn't able to get to IFBC, and it's been a long journey, but I have my info now. I'm able to get a passport. I'm able to travel internationally. So all the different stuff, I should be out there pretty soon. So, and really just, it's been very tough to do all that stuff. Thanks, Bisham. All right, Nick, maybe we'll have to link up if you're out there when I'm out there. Let's keep it going here. A couple more to go. Furman, Greensboro. Great game here in the Southern Conference. Greensboro is laying 1.5 here. Sibley is playing in this game, which is huge for Furman. Greensboro is going to want to slow it down. That's what they do. They love to go slow, make you really work for your shot, and they want to work for their shot as well. I think this is a great game to watch. But I tell you what, I like Furman in this game. I think they're the better overall team. The question is, can they score against a really good defense at Greensboro? Should be a great game. I don't know if there's a ton of betting value, but I think anytime you get Furman at this kind of number, just have to win, I would take a shot with them. Manhattan, Niagara, I don't have much opinion on this game. Clash in styles. Niagara wants to go fast. Manhattan wants to go slow. No opinion. Mercer, East Tennessee State. Mercer's been a bit of a frustrating team for me this year. They have 5 seniors, but Rion Holland can't stay healthy. He's the catalyst for this team. Mercer's a team very slow. They like to go tempo, play slow, and they've been awful on the road. You have 2 teams really in opposite directions on a point spread perspective. East Tennessee State just goes to show you how good of a coach Steve Forbes is. I mean, he loses Pasca Perea last year. He loses all sorts of players last year, and they're still right there in the Southern Conference. They're still 12-3 to the number. I mean, what a great season he's had. What a great coach he is. I'm blown away that a big-time program hasn't went out and got him. If I'm Clemson University, this is exactly who I would go after. Bring Steve Forbes in, let him coach your team. Get the fuck rid of Brad Burnell, bring a new guy in. This guy is being wasted at Eastern Tennessee State. So, without Rion Holland, I just can't take Mercer here. I kind of would look towards East Tennessee State. Mercer's going to need a really big-time performance from somebody else, Jordan Strawberry, whoever. They got to get something. And against this defense, it's going to be tough. Lean Buccaneers here if I had to play it. Go out Clemson and get Steve Forbes. Sanford, Chattanooga. I like Sanford. I think they're really good on offense, but they're really poor on defense. Both these teams have struggled on defense. I'd actually look maybe towards an over here. I think it's a little too low. Both these teams are pretty good from the fouling. Sanford's a great offensive team. They've been good all year to that. They're great from the line. They're good from 3. And look, I mean, I guess the big concern is, can Chattanooga score enough? They've had some injuries as well lately. Lean to under or over, but not a big opinion. Final game tonight, which is interesting. South Dakota State, South Dakota. The battle for South Dakota here, the Black Hills State. By the way, a beautiful state. This is one state I would love to go to, South Dakota. I want to go out to Mount Rushmore and see some of Sturgis and go to some of the rolling foothills. South Dakota seems like a beautiful place, man. I could never live there just because it's not for me, but seems like a beautiful place to check out. I'm really into Indian history. I think it'd be awesome to see some of the reservations and stuff. And I think Indians, like, the struggle that they have is fascinating, and I would love to go out there and check that out. It's got to be something I got to do at some point. I was thinking this summer to just go drive somewhere, a place like that. That would be cool. But this game itself is a really fascinating game. You obviously have 2 great players in Mooney and Mike Daum. Question is, always the question, can South Dakota stop Mike Daum? Not many teams can. He's just that good. Mike Daum is a top 5 player in the country. You can argue with me all you want, but he is. Mike Daum has done things at South Dakota State that are absolutely unbelievable, and most players will never achieve at the college level. So just remember, Mike Daum, a 4-star guy, 4-year guy. If you ever get the chance, watch Mike Daum. He deserves your opportunity. Both these teams, I mean, they're just an over dream, really. The big concern, though, is, can South Dakota hamstring this South Dakota State offense? Because South Dakota State can score. South Dakota can defend. It's in South Dakota. That's a big leg up. And can they put a body on Mike Daum? If they do that, that's why they're a 3-point favorite. And this is intuitive of, I think South Dakota will win and cover this game. I think the play is probably on the over. Until overs don't come in with South Dakota State, I think it's hard to fade them here. And you look at this game, it has a big profile on over. You look at both these teams, they're elite at getting to the free throw line. South Dakota gets to the line 7th most in the country. South Dakota State at 30th. And both these teams convert from the foul line. 77.5%, 73.5%. You're going to get a lot of fouls in this game. And for me, that's why I think you're always going to be with an over with these 2 teams, just because they all get to the foul line. They both do a great job pace-wise. They're both fantastic offensively. They're both good from 3. And you look at the fact that South Dakota State on the road have gone over in 9 of 10 this year. And you look at historically, over the last 35 road games, South Dakota's went over 28 times. That's a lot of overs. I think this total is probably where it should be. For me, I'd have to lean over. This was close to me for a play. The only big problem I have is, can South Dakota shut down Mike Dom? Because I think South Dakota is the best team in the conference. I think they're going to win this conference. All right, Bill Anderson. See you later. Where the hell are you, Matt Varnum? I have no opinion on Colgate Army. No, I have no opinion on Georgetown. Yeah, this is not a little too high. This is where this total should be. 160 is not that big for these teams. But can Mike Dom get shut down? That's the big question. It's very difficult to do so. Do you bet spring training baseball? No. I mean, I've won a lot of future bets, actually. I mean, I had a team not winning a game this year. That one hit. That was pretty good, wasn't it? I mean, I had Gonzaga in the to win the whole thing last year. They game runner up. I had Wisconsin at 9-1 to win when they went with Duke. They lost, but I cashed because I've hedged. I mean, I don't think I need to explain. I know what I'm talking about. But we all know who Bill is, so I'm not going to comment on Bill. Mike Doms from Kimball, Nebraska. Another Husker miss. Yeah, good point, Matt. Yeah, that's Tim Miles for you. Do you think a top 25 team loses tonight? Well, let me take a look. How many top 25 teams are actually playing? Uh, Let me see here. Mm, no, I can't say I do. Maybe Auburn. I could see Auburn losing. But other than that, not really, no. Auburn would probably be the only one. And I'm sure your question will next be, should I parlay all of those? No, you shouldn't. Bill's a turd! Exclamation point. I agree. Do you ever play team totals? Yeah, I do, actually. I actually played a team total yesterday. The only reason I don't give them out is because I don't know if everyone can bet them. Do I think Edgar Martinez gets into the Hall of Fame? That's a good point, Joe Flo. Actually, that's actually a thing we're going to talk about tomorrow on the show on SBR. We'll be discussing who we think should get into the Hall of Fame. So tune in for that. Give you a little teaser there. Catch Donnie Wright said night tonight on the Betcast in about an hour and 10 minutes. People are asking, do I have any NBA opinions tonight? Yes. I would probably be on the Bulls tonight. Bulls for sure. Whole world on the Sixers. Line hasn't really moved at all. So, yes, I'd be on the Bulls if I had to. As far as any other ones, mm, not really. Purely just the Bulls. Bulls at 5.5. I'd be on that. There was a parlay available at Bama Warriors Patriots to win the title. Should have bet it at 12-1. Do you think it happens? No. I think the Eagles are going to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I'm not down on Miles as you. Oh, well, I don't think he's done anything really too good there. But all right. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up for today. Everyone have a great day. I hope you enjoy your Wednesday evening. Check out the Betcast. We'll do a little bit later. Donnie and I will chat a little college hoops, kind of go in and out on different games and chat more about the game Florida and South Carolina as well. Am I going to the Super Bowl? No, I'm not. I'll be in South Philly for the Super Bowl. Other than that, have a great day. Tonight's play of the day, we're going to go with Wofford, -8.5, -115 at Bookmaker. Everyone have a great night. Hope you cash all your tickets and hope you do well tonight. Catch us later on the Betcast, 7 o'clock on SBR. Have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock. We'll take some calls. We'll get involved with that and have some fun. So if you're looking to call in, Make sure you're prepared. We'll get you the number and you can call in. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.